In this world we live in, it's hard not to judge. But one question I want to answer today is, how do we do it? I think there are many ways to go about judging. And I'm first going to say the ways that we should never judge. We should never judge someone based off of their circumstances. Like, do they have money? Do they not have money? What kind of clothes are they wearing? What do they look like? I think judging someone based off of the kind of car they drive, the kind of just petty shit. That's my point. Like petty shit. Like we should not be judging one another on petty shit. But when I go into public and when I look at people, when I look at the people and I look at their faces, the biggest thing that I look for is how do they spend their time. But if we were to look at one another for the things that we do with our time versus the things we don't do with our time, I think we would have a better understanding of who we are as people. And that is the only circumstance, in my opinion, that it is a good idea to judge. Getting more information on someone, to get to know one another better, is the only way that we should be having any type of judgment. The only way that we should be judging people is to get a better understanding of them as people. I'd say if you were to look at people and think, oh, well, I'm not going to talk to them because they don't have clothes. Like, it's the certain clothes that you like versus the certain clothes that somebody else likes. It's like, it's their taste, and we should be respecting one another's tastes. But what we shouldn't respect is if this person, forgets about people. Like, one of the biggest things that I love is to put a smile on people's faces. And when you have that kind of ability, like you see the spark build up in people's day. And it's like, fuck, like I love to do that. Like I absolutely love to be able to be like, hey, you're alive and you get to enjoy today. If we were to see a little bit more of that into one another instead of looking down on one another of, oh, you don't have this, you don't have that, you don't have the looks. It's just like, especially in Los Angeles, you'll just have that petty shit everywhere. If we were to take away the petty shit and leave the shit that gives us a better understanding of one another and our positions, well, that kind of judgment is okay with me. Judge me based off of that. And if we were to look in the mirror ourselves, and if we were to see the things that we could judge about ourselves, well, how would that be to you? If you were to judge you, what would you say? If you were to judge you, would you hate you? Or would you love you? I know, shit, if I were to judge myself, there's so many critiques that I can make on a daily basis. And I do. And, as hard as we are on ourselves, it's okay to judge people. To judge them for anything other than their actions is not okay. I love people watching, and I love looking at people and their actions and their decisions. Like if someone's an asshole, you can tell, and no differently, you can straight up tell if somebody is interested in you or not interested in you. And you can just get a large amount of information on someone. And that's all it should be used for. Information.